Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon.
Huge, absolutely huge, really, really big, at least that's what she said, news today for you as Crypto.com has become an official sponsor for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Nice. I like it. Man, Crypto.com's been spending some crazy money on promotion. Man, they bought a stadium, they're sponsoring sports teams, they're sponsoring all kinds of sports people. Wild amounts of money being spent by the biggest cryptocurrency exchanges to get the word out, especially to the sporting world. So seeing them become an official sponsor of the World Cup, it's a big deal. Again, getting that branding in front of so many people. Really big news for Crypto.com to be a major sponsor there, and big news for the cryptocurrency industry because it brings in more people. Remember, 3.4 billion more people coming in the next 8 years. Are you ready for that?
Cryptocurrencies are being used to evade sanctions imposed on Russian individuals, and exchanges that facilitate these transactions may be accomplices. This is according to the head of the European Central Bank. Christine Lagarde's strongly worded statement is confirmation that digital assets are being used to lessen the impact of drastic measures imposed following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Crypto exchanges could end up interpreting Lagarde's remarks as a warning that they need to do more to ensure that their trading platforms aren't used by those on sanctions lists, though major brands have rejected calls to freeze the accounts of all Russian users.
Mass adoption is coming and higher prices will be coming. Here's an example. A16Z, Andreessen Horowitz alumni Katie Hahn raises $1.5 billion for 2 new crypto venture funds. So Katie Hahn, certainly she was, part of Andreessen Horowitz for a while, and then she left, started her own firm called Hahn Ventures. And the funds included $500 million for an early stage fund and $1 billion for an acceleration fund, amounts that are noteworthy for new fund set up by a single person. Guys, this is so bullish. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. More capital is coming.
Things are on the up and up for Charles and the gang over at Cardano. After making the headlines last week from the impact they've had this year in DeFi, the Plutus update is now complete, and ADA is up just over 17% in the past 5 days. According to newsbtc.com, operating as a platform, Plutus enables users to leverage a programming environment. In that way, users can build their own smart contract without needing technical skills, maintaining code, and removing the need to use a full development environment. With one more thing on their ambitious 2022 roadmap checked off, they want their users to expect significant growth in the future.
The country of Japan knows that cryptocurrencies are the future. They are looking at various ways that they can actually reduce the friction in making sure that the right assets are listed on the exchanges within their jurisdiction. Now we're getting news that they are creating a green list of 18 different cryptocurrency coins that will be ready to be listed on exchanges without screening. Those lists include Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now that there's going to be a green list, it simply tells them these are the ones that are pre-approved. Get these listed immediately so that the users in our country can go ahead and start to transact in them. This is important to understand because Japan not only realizes that cryptocurrencies are the future, they realize that a global competition is underway. You either innovate or you die. And the country of Japan just signaled they want to be a leader. They want to be at the forefront of this revolution.
Chainlink was at this Avalanche Summit talking about this relationship. Chainlink, they opened up the Oracle setup last year. There's a lot more they want to do, right? Chainlink themselves is trying to prepare for their own bridging called CCIP, which will be very important because basically all the chains that they're working with right now will be able to use CCIP and talk to each other, which will be a huge thing for not only Chainlink, but all the chains that's utilizing Chainlink right now.
Look at this. Honduras reportedly to officially recognize Bitcoin as legal tender in the coming days. But here's the thing. I really think this is going to happen more and more because Bitcoin allows countries to have a financial system that is able to reach the masses in their country, right? The traditional banking system is not fair. Bitcoin could be a much more even playing field. Now, the country's president, Castro, has reportedly said that El Salvador shouldn't be the only country escaping dollar hegemony. Castro also said that they wanted to move towards the first world. Now, here's the thing. We talked about what kind of positive catalyst could help us kind of push this thing along and maybe get back into a bull run. This is an example of a catalyst that could do so.
Essentially, this is a paradigm shift. We're moving from the age of silos to the age of community, and we're building a new trust foundation for the planet. And that new trust foundation has enabled decentralized finance, a global decentralized finance platform that is enabling a very wide variety of applications to be built. Some of those applications that are essentially enabling businesses to be disintermediated take the form of non-fungible tokens, which in the early instantiations are enabling creators and content owners to directly access their customers. We're seeing that across the ecosystem, where lots of DeFi protocols are decentralizing. Many projects are exiting to community, establishing decentralized organizations to govern themselves in. And we will see a powerful movement towards decentralization in the NFT space.
All right, New York legislators weighing a moratorium on crypto mining while some look to an executive order from the governor. This is pretty relevant news, guys, to our community. If you're looking at any kind of crypto mining at scale, especially at scale, then in the state of New York, there are problems brewing. There's a proposed bill, and it would mean preventing new permits from being issued to certain mining operations until the New York Department of Environmental Conservation can study their impact with a generic environmental impact statement. So what does that mean in practical terms? That means that if they do pass the moratorium, which they haven't done yet, but if they do pass the moratorium, no new friends, no new mining operations, nothing new for you. So if you want to get those mining permits, do it now.
The United Arab Emirates, or the UAE, is getting closer to issuing a regulatory and supervisory framework that will govern the country's virtual asset industry. The Securities and Commodities Authority, or the SCA, has said it is getting closer to issuing the regulatory and supervisory framework related to virtual assets issued for investment purposes. And we do not need, in the cryptocurrency space, someone to validate transactions or to say where the transaction is going, because the blockchain does that by itself with the help of tens of thousands, millions of people around the world. We see the popularity of cryptocurrencies rising ever more every single day, every month, every year. If this popularity continues, mathematically in around 20 to 25, 35 years, everything will simply be crypto.